Man, this is incredible. So I'm curious on that very first one, did you finance the build with a construction loan? Did you go all cash? Because I know you said you didn't have investors. Walk us through how you got that done.
Yeah, and I sort of briefly talk about this on my YouTube channel, but we started with like a second home loan essentially. I hadn't my license technically was still in Michigan, like where I'm from, and then my wife, we'd lived separate for a little bit until just like until her job allowed her to work remotely full time. So we were allowed to get away with doing a second home loan construction loan, just because I hadn't established residency here in North Carolina. I didn't know if I was going to be here long term either. So technically, like my address was still in Michigan. But a lot of people, a lot of hosts that I talk to now, sort of that's how they get into this space, whether it be building or with just purchasing an already built home for vacation rental purposes. They do it as a second home loan. And the lenders are fine with it. Like if it's a second home loan and it's rented out as an Airbnb, that's what everyone's doing. It's like they'll stay in it 2, 3 weeks a year, and then for the rest of the time they'll just rent it out just to cover their mortgage. So yeah, that's how we started. We did a 2-time closed loan, which there are negatives and positives to that. So it's essentially a construction loan for a year, and then you refinance into a permanent like 30-year fixed, which is what we ended up doing.
That's awesome. And so, can you walk us through some of the numbers on what did it cost to build? Because I think a lot of people just assume that building ground up is more expensive than buying existing, which is why more people maybe don't do ground up.
Right, right, and like it come like a little bit of the headache comes with it if you're just like starting with it. But what it felt like, it fell on us where we were just like, okay, we're either gonna overpay for a property that's not 100% perfect and it's gonna need some work anyways. So we're like, instead of renovating a home for 3 to 6 months, why don't we just build one like from scratch, and it'll take like 12 to 14 months. So well, our numbers, these numbers were, again, these are numbers that were prior to COVID. So like with like materials and everything going up. But our first cabin, that first cabin we built for 202, and that the 202 means it was also like furnished. The land cost about 50,000, and then it cost around like 130,000 to build. It's like an 830 square foot cabin, which sounds small, but if you actually if you actually see it, like it's an open floor concept, pocket doors everywhere, so no doors are opening in and out. We just really tried to optimize the space. Like it's funny, like we just the furniture sort of decided what, when you're building these cabins, like these smaller cabins, the furniture like decides what the house sort of looks like. So it's like you have to like have your furniture planned out before you start designing the home. But yeah, we that cost it costs around like 202, 203 to build and furnish. Um and then yeah, we just started renting it out. We've been 100% occupied for the last year and a half. I mean, besides maybe like 1 or 2 days that we've taken for like maintenance days, or like to just do some like extra work on the cabin. Like I already mentioned, my cap rate was like 25% for that first year without an investor. And then my ROI was